Hello, and welcome. I promised you that I would come back with the quinoa recipe. So, yes, I took a chai break and a couple of cookies later, here I am. So, I'm going to show you the quinoa. I took the time to actually boil the quinoa. This is how it looks. All I did was add some salt and some turmeric to this quinoa. This is about a cup of quinoa, and I added a cup and a half of water. I had already also soaked it for about 20 to 30 minutes before I put it to boil. So this is what it looks like. It's a little dry, but this is what it looks like, okay? And usually I don't add turmeric, but today I did. So soak the quinoa, wash it really well a couple of times, soak it for about 20 minutes. I did not dry roast it. A lot of people like to roast it before they cook with it, but I did not do any of that stuff. And so now I'm gonna give you the Indian way of how I make it, and I give it this Indian twist, and I'll show you what is the tempering that I use in order to add more flavor. Hello Tim, it's so good to see you after so long. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so jumping back, if you were with me just a little while ago and you made the bottle garden potato recipe with me, I'm gonna show you what it looks like right now. Actually, let me just pull this closer so we can see what it looks like right now. Here we go. So all I did was I opened the lid, and you can see that the curry, it's like a very tomatoey broth. There you go, right? And I've actually gone ahead and mashed out some of the potatoes, so it just gives it a nice creamy texture, and it doesn't make the broth too watery. So it has a nice body to it, and the bottle gourd actually holds up pretty well, but it becomes kind of translucent. So that's how you know that it's well cooked. Here you go. You see how it's really well cooked. And you can check by pressing the potatoes. These are nice and soft and creamy. If you'd like to take a taste, let's do that, right? What is a cooking video without a taste test? All right, and we also have Rekha Shah. So you know what? Cheers, Rekha. I think this is your first time on my video, so let's try this aloo lauki ki sabzi. Oh man, this is so good. I personally think that it needs a little more salt, but the cumin, the curry leaves, and the asafoetida together, they taste absolutely bomb. And then the creaminess of the potatoes like really gets into your tongue and gives you a good mouthfeel. So yes, this is done. I'm gonna get this thing out of the way, and now we are jumping right into making the quinoa with an Indian twist. So I have a pan that's really nice and hot right now. I'm gonna wash this spoon so I can dip it into the ghee. Okay, it's a nice and hot pan. What we are going to need is we will use ghee. I'm also using some mustard seeds, which are right here. I will use some cashews. Sometimes I just do peanuts, but I realize I don't have any peanuts, so I'm going to use broken cashews. I will be using some curry leaves. And you know what? If you're missing one or two ingredients, don't sweat over it. It'll still taste pretty darn good. Just give it some love, okay? I urge you to not be afraid of trying things out. Just because you're missing one ingredient doesn't mean that you can not make the recipe successfully. And Indian food is like dressing up for the winter, right? As many layers as you put, the more cozy you're going to be. So when you add different ingredients at different times in an Indian dish, that's how when you bite into a curry or you bite into something that's made the Indian way, you also get explosions of flavor, because those are the layers unraveling themselves when the finished dish comes to the table. But if you don't have one or two things, you know, it's not what cheese is to pizza. You can still rock it out, make it your own, learn to love whatever you have, and then slowly build your pantry. You don't need to have a million ingredients just so you can eat some good, healthy, plant-based Indian food. Okay, so I'm gonna add some mustard seeds, and I have to let it crackle. The secret with mustard seeds is that if they don't crackle and pop, they will have a bitter bite to them. So make sure that your pan is really, really hot when you add your mustard seeds, and make sure that you give it the time that it needs to crackle and pop. Now I also have a medley of vegetables that I've chopped really finely. I have some long hot pepper rings. I have some cilantro stems and leaves. I have a little bit of a carrot, and I have some green beans that I've really finely chopped. You can see this, right? but you can use onions, you can use whatever vegetable you like, you can use that. Now this is going to be a pretty loud sound, so it's not going to go unnoticed. You'll know that it's ready for the next ingredient based on. And if you don't do ghee, you can make this with coconut oil, you can make this with light olive oil, any oil that has a high smoking point, you can do it. Just don't use the extra virgin olive oil. That's not a good fit for Indian dishes. Okay, so this is crackling. I'm now going to go in and add some curry leaves. I like to rip my curry leaves when I put them in so that it releases the oils. Even if you're using mint or anything, just so if you're using mint or basil, just take it on the palm of your hand and give it a tight clap and then put it in. So that helps to release some of the oils. This is looking good right now. I'm just wondering what I did with my ladle. Okay, here it is. Alright, give it a quick stir. And in go all these vegetables. So my goal in life, not only as a human being, but as a mom, as a chef, as a cookbook author, as someone who runs a meal delivery service, my goal is really to pack as many vegetables as I can in day-to-day food, because I feel like a lot of goodness comes from them, and nature is so kind. We have such a good variety all year round that we can enjoy. You just have to be tuned into eating seasonally and being creative with what you're making. So even in my classes, I actually teach you techniques and not recipes, which means that if you know a technique to make quinoa, you can make rice the same way. You can make noodles the same way. I teach you the techniques pretty much like they teach you in French cooking classes, so that once you know the technique, you can apply it to different things. Now this quinoa I actually covered with a tea towel and a cover, so it was originally quite wet, but you see how dry and crumbly this is? So this is the perfect texture. You don't want to overcook these vegetables, so just go ahead and drop your quinoa in there. The quinoa water was already salted, and no, I have not drained any water. I used 1.5 cups of water in a cup of quinoa, and it has been perfectly soaked up by the quinoa itself. Okay, now I'm going to turn the heat to low and I'm going to give it a gentle toss. You can even make fried rice. So let's say if you have cabbage and you have carrots, you can add some ginger garlic and you can add some crushed red peppers, and you can make a quinoa fried rice, right? So just make it your own. I think it's such a great blank canvas. And the ghee, oh my god, it smells insane. I love ghee. I think I just don't eat it too much. I don't eat it enough, but I absolutely love ghee. So when you pull from the bottom and give it a gentle toss, then it doesn't break. And I think that quinoa really holds up well. So you actually have a silicone spatula, you have a non-stick pan. Go from under and then just shake it out. Go from under, shake it out. So you don't have to stir it vigorously. Just don't be aggressive with it. Go under and flip it. Go under and flip it. And I think it gives it that nice toasted, roasted color. Now I'm also going to go ahead and add my cashews. You can add any nuts of choice. You can add cranberries, raisins, whatever you're in the mood for, okay? So out of all the spices that are gonna go in, I already added the turmeric. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of the coriander powder. I will add a little bit of paprika and just a tad bit of salt. Just a tad bit, right? Gonna give it a good toss. If you have bell peppers, you can add that. If you have cabbage, you can add that. Whatever you feel like you have in your fridge. And sometimes you have those 1 or 2 little vegetables that are just floating around. This is a great way to use up all of that stuff, right? What are your favorite ways of making quinoa? I'm just going to give it a second, but I will jump into the comments and see what everybody's saying. Now I'll give you another hint. Let's say you have some store-bought masalas that are sitting in your fridge and you really don't know what to do. So it's on our website, queenscurrykitchen.com, in the online shop. So I like to add just a little bit of that to elevate the dish to a whole different flavor profile and kill the blandness of the quinoa, right? If you have pav bhaji masala, you can add that. If you have paneer masala, you can add that. Whatever masala you have, just make sure that it's preservative free. So all our masalas in the Queen's Curry Kitchen are always preservative free. There's no MSG, and they're all made with sea salt instead of chemical based salt. All right, and so that's that. I'm just gonna turn off the heat, and this is ready to go. You can see how it's completely granular in texture. It almost looks like couscous. If you've ever had Moroccan couscous, it pretty much resembles the texture of that. I've turned it off, so it's ready to eat. I will do a taste test right in front of you. But yes, let's see what Tim is saying. Tim says he likes quinoa salad with avocados, cucumbers, tomato, lemon dressing, and some seasoning. Yes, yes, and yes. You are the man. So I do have some avocados. Ta-da, right here, but I have to wait for it to ripen. It's kind of a little bit tight, so what I do is I wrap it in a brown bag and I stick it in my microwave at night so it'll become a little softer. Let's say a quick hello to Shweta, Manjunath, hello. Sukhbir Kaur Work is watching, and of course Mama Ji, Devashish Ji is watching. Shalini Goyal, welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. Rekha Shah, I'm just reaching out and saying a big hello and a warm welcome to all of you. If this is your first time, make sure to follow the page or subscribe to my YouTube channel so you'll keep abreast of all the new things that are coming up. I do live videos almost every day. I have a new cookbook coming up that is based on the 5 most popular spices. And it's great for families that are omnivores, because I've done the vegetarian dishes, and then there is another spice manufacturer that I've partnered with, and he's across the Atlantic. He's in UK, so we've both taken the same 5 basic spices, but he's done a non-vegetarian version of the same spice, and I've done a vegetarian plant-based recipe with the same spice. Okay, so now for the taste test, which is like the moment of truth for all food related things. And I really feel bad for eating it without you guys. I'm so sorry. I wish I could bring you in and treat you to this nice steaming hot pot of quinoa. I don't even think it has a name, but I think I'll just call it quinoa upma for lack of a better word. But I'm gonna give it a taste. This is so comforting. It's hearty. It has a nice chewy texture. The vegetables are still crunchy, but oh my god, the infusion of the curry leaves with the toasty taste of the mustard seeds, and of course the cashew. I didn't get a cashew in my spoonful, but it's hanging out there, and it's perfectly seasoned, and the ghee is like the thing that brings all of these flavors together. It tastes absolutely amazing. It's quite bland in terms of its, what should I say, it's pretty neutral, but it still has some very subtle flavors. So if you're not big on bold flavors and you like something subtle, the turmeric, I love the color of it. I love the crunchiness of the carrots. It tastes really, really good. So I hope you'll give it a try. You can also do this with leftover quinoa. You don't have to boil the quinoa and do everything from scratch. You can do it from leftover quinoa or any other grain that you have at home, like farro or quinoa, or you can even do the same tempering to some leftover boiled pasta. It always works. So with that, I'm gonna just say thank you for your love and support, and thank you for being here with me, spending this morning with me, trying to see what I come up with in my kitchen. But yes, there's a lot of nice videos that are planned up for all of you guys, things to do with grocery hauls, you know, how to use your spices, how to store your spices, how to eat well to build immunity. All of these videos are coming up in the future. So if you follow this page, you'll keep getting updates on every time I go live. You'll get a notification, and we can keep rocking forever, and all the flavor lovers of this world can unite. If you have any Indian food related questions, anything specific that you want to send my way, either drop it in the chat below or feel free to send me a personal message at the Queen's Curry Kitchen, and I'll be more than happy. If there's a specific recipe that you'd like to learn, or an item that you saw in the grocery store that you really don't know what to do with, let me know about it. I'm always looking for new ideas to bring the best of Indian foods to you, but of course it's supposed to solve some problems for you, right? So if there's something that you want to specifically learn, do that. If you want to take a class, if you want to buy the spices, if you want to get the cookbook, there's also a hard copy and a downloadable version of the Vegan Indian Home Cookbook. So it's all out there on thequeenscurrykitchen.com. If not, come back and support this page. Share this page with your friends and family if you thought that this brought any value and it can help you to eat just a little bit better. I feel like we may not be able to do everything at one time where we're exercising, we're eating right, we may not, but every little step that you take consciously towards a healthier self is definitely a work in progress. So thank you again for joining me. Namaste. And I wish that you will have a wonderful week ahead. And I hope that your families and you are going to be safe and be blissful, be flavorful. See me again soon in the next one. I do thank you for joining me. Until next time, namaste and goodbye.